I'm a member of the Imperial Senate on a diplomatic mission to Alderaan.
You are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take her away!
Over the course of 100 days, this is a text crawl, we have taken a look at all kinds of movies on this show for our top 100 movies of all time, but we have come to number one. We have arrived at number one.
I can't believe we're here.
And it is George Lucas, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and my boy Harrison Ford in Star Wars, the 1977 opus that really, it started it all.
This is our most desperate hour. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Yeah, we wouldn't be standing here.
No.
You wouldn't be watching this.
No.
We wouldn't be doing a lot of things if it wasn't for this movie.
I wouldn't have this action figure in my bag right below us right
What?
here.
What?
There's a big one right
Oh,
there.
that was a euphemism.
What?
But Star Wars really, when we talked about this, because I was pushing for Raiders of the Lost Ark to be our number
we
one
talked about
slot.
this today, yeah.
But Star Wars is the reason why Raiders of the Lost Ark happened.
It was the birth of everything.
Yes, it
and
was.
as you said, when we discussed this on the train on the way here today, it is the center of the universe.
It's the sun.
It is the sun, and it
Yes.
is the thing that gives life to every other aspect of nerd culture.
It really does, because everything that has come before it is referenced all the way through, and then everything that's come since has a reference back to Star Wars. Everything has been influenced by this film, whether it was the marketing muscle of the movie and the very shrewd decisions of George Lucas that turned him into a billionaire, or whether it was the themes or the energy or the serialized stay tuned for more kind of qualities of the film.
I've been waiting for you, Obi-Wan. We meet again at last.
It was a confluence of forces where they took something that had been, again, something that had seemed childish,
Yeah.
something that was for kids, and they treated it as serious subject matter.
I felt a great disturbance in the Force, as if millions of voices suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced.
This movie is everything. It's funny, it's sexy, it's smart, it's a look forward and a look back at the same time. It features a terrific villain. It's got robots. What doesn't this movie have?
It delivered at every single level, and it appealed to every single audience member, and it was really ahead of its time in its ability to kind of turn sci-fi into something palpable and meaningful for a mass audience, and it changed geekdom. I mean, from this, it became cool to dig video games and to think about computer-generated effects.
Well, it became okay to read comic books in public.
Yes.
What?
I remember being a kid laying in bed and my parents' clock radio would come on in the morning with
Yeah.
the news, and there were news reports back in 1977 of people lining up for a movie. Now, I'd never heard of people lining up for a movie before, and the people reporting this story had never heard of people lining up for a movie before, and you just thought, this is something I have to see. What are people lining up to see? What's inside that theater?
Yeah,
Boy, did we ever find out.
The Force is strong in this one.
And movies would stay in theaters back then for a year. I think Star Wars was probably in for a year or two.
It's probably still playing
and
in
then
some
it was
theaters.
re-released a whole bunch of times, and we all know this story.
Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.
To answer Princess Leia's eternal question, no, none of us are too short to be stormtroopers.
We are all stormtroopers. Congratulations to George Lucas and the whole gang for making the greatest movie of all time with Star Wars, your number one on our list. Let's punch it, Chewie.